order the Maywood Council meeting for April 23rd, 2019 at 7:46 p.m.
We are in session, and tonight, please welcome Pastor Oscar Casachawa to give, from Zion Lutheran Church, to give tonight's invocation. Pastor.
As you know, this past Sunday we celebrated Easter, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He's alive. Somebody may say, that's impossible, that he's alive. Well, for us humans, it's impossible. But for God, all things are possible. St. Paul wrote, I can do all things through him, through Christ, who strengthens me. So with God, everything is possible. Let us pray. Our Father, our Creator, we give thanks to you for this day. We ask you to bless this meeting and bless everyone who participates in it. We ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Everyone remain standing and join me in saluting the nation's flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas January 3rd, 2019, adequate notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been furnished by inclusion thereof in the annual schedule of meetings for 2019, which has been posted on the bulletin boards at Borough Hall, filed with the Borough Clerk, faxed to the Our Town, the Record, and the community newspapers, and distributed to all persons, if any, requesting copies of same pursuant to said act. In the case of an emergency or fire alarm, you must evacuate the building by using any of the exit doors in the room. They are immediately to my right and the double doors to the rear of the room. Occupants must exit the building by using the staircase and not the elevator. This meeting is being recorded by both video and audio and may be rebroadcasted.
Roll call.
On roll call, Mayor Fabre.
Here.
Council members Bennon.
Here.
Boland.
Here.
Ullman.
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau.
Present.
Garofalo.
Here.
Borough Attorney Brian Ironman.
Here.
Borough Administrator Roberta Stern.
Here.
Borough Clerk Barbara Discoto here. We have a quorum.
Members of the council, are there any items on or off the agenda tonight? Work session items? Okay, let's move to proclamations. American Legion Post 142 has a presentation to kick off their poppy sale. Please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As every year, we would like to thank the Mayor and Council for allowing members of the American Legion of Maywood Unit 142 the opportunity to join them in this evening for an annual presenting of the poppies. The fact sheet that we just handed out to you just have some facts about the poppies, and it states what, who, when, where, and why. The most important thing is the why, and why we have the poppy, why we distribute the poppies, and what we do with the poppy money. The American Legion family recognizes the importance of honoring the fallen and supporting the living who have worn our nation's uniforms. That is why the American Legion family has called upon Congress to designate the Friday before Memorial Day as National Poppy Day. This year, to May 24th. National Poppy Day honors all U.S. service members from the battlefields of France in World War I, a century ago, to today's global war on terror. After World War I, the poppy flourished in Europe and quickly became a symbol of the sacrifice made by Americans and Allied service members around the world. Soldiers returning from World War I brought home the flower in memory of the barren landscape transformed by the sudden growth of wild poppies among the newly dug graves. National Poppy Day broadens a tradition that dates back to the American Legion Auxiliary's first national convention in the early 1920s, when the red poppy was adopted as the American Legion family's memorial flower. Today it remains an iconic symbol of honor of the sacrifice of the veterans. American Legion Auxiliary members distribute millions of poppies annually across the country in exchange for donations that go directly to assist disabled and hospitalized veterans in our communities. They raise more than $5 to $6 million annually to provide support for our veterans. By wearing poppies on National Poppy Day, we will not only honor every service member who died in the name of liberty, freedom, and democracy, but provide an opportunity to support veterans for generations to come. Please remember to fly your flag at half-staff until noon, then rise to full staff. Thank you again for your time this evening.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, if I could, just a small thing. One of our own, Donna DiGregorio, is a very active member of the American Legion Auxiliary, and actually, just in her honor, I just have a small donation for Poppy Day. And actually, all the women in the American Legion Auxiliary who are both Maywoodians and otherwise are really very special, and they do a lot of really nice things for the people that they care about, and it's very nice. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Donna, thank you for, ladies, thank you for your service, and Donna, thank you for your service to this town for all these years. Appreciate it. Okay, we have another proclamation in celebration of Arbor Day. It reads, whereas the Borough of Maywood has previously been named Tree City USA by the New Jersey Department of Forestry, and whereas the Tree City USA honor comes from the National Arbor Day Foundation, a nonprofit educational organization dedicated to tree planting and environmental stewardship, and whereas communities entering the nationwide program receive the Tree City USA designation upon recommendation by state foresters who co-sponsor the program, and whereas Tree City USA communities receive a flag with the program's logo and a walnut-mounted plaque, the Tree City USA community signs, and maple leaf stickers indicating additional qualifying years, and whereas trees make a world of difference in our community, being recognized for the beauty and value of our homes, neighborhoods, parks, and business areas. Trees conserve energy, help clean air, protect rivers and streams, and provide homes for wildlife in certain areas of the state. Now therefore, I, Adrian J. Fevre, Mayor of the Borough of Maywood, do hereby proclaim April 26, 2019 as Arbor Day in the Borough of Maywood, and urge all citizens to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and support our borough's urban forestry program. And just a day after Earth Day, so I think it's appropriate. We have Resolution 89-19.
Resolution 89-19, resolution appointing Andrew Mulligan as police officer in the Borough of Maywood.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution? Is there a second? Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett.
Yes.
Boland.
Yes.
Allman.
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau.
Yes.
Garafalo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, we'll save the applause for the swearing in.
We're not.
All right, Andrew, put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Andrew Mulligan, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of police officer, according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Don't move them on the first leg.
Oops.
You say that. But you're not at 53.
Get some pictures. Guys, whoever wants to come up, take some pictures. Maybe some of us.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Families first?
It's all cracked, but it's
We're going to
the council.
We got room now.
Yes, I'll go up there.
Thanks for that.
Come on, guys.
Oh, thank you very much. I just didn't Getting closer, guys. Come on, moving closer.
Couple people, hands of men.
Okay. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane. Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right. At this point, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public. If there's anyone from the public wishing to be heard, please come on up. Sir? Please just state your name and address. Thank you.
My name is Leon Cohn. I live in New York. The reason why I'm here is regarding 217 Hergesel Avenue, which I'm the principal. Would you like me to give the address in New York where I live?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. The reason why I'm here is my present tenant is leaving in a few weeks. Now, there has been off and on talks regarding the building on 217 Hergesel Avenue. There's a piece of property between the building and the Maywood pool. Now, it's been off and on whether the town is interested in selling it or not. I have been, obviously, since my tenant is leaving, I've started to look either for a tenant or to sell the building. What I have realized was that the bigger the property, the more money I can get for it. The more parking spaces, the more money I can get for it. So I'm just, once it's sold and once it's leased, then it depends on the individual whether they would want to pay more, they don't want to pay more, how much they want to pay, and things like that. So all that I'm saying is I'm proposing that it could be a win-win situation, both for Maywood and both for me. If Maywood would decide to sell me the property and like this together, then it would have a substantial value. But that's all.
Properties usually go out for auction. It's a bit of a process, plus we have to decide what we want to do with it. I would say, what I would tell you is that we're still under review for that piece of property. We know what you're talking about. It is being reviewed, and there is a process that we'll have to go through. We just can't sell this property. It doesn't go like that.
Okay.
Not that we can't sell it, we just can't sell it. There's a process. We can sell it.
Yeah, but there's a process that we have to go through.
And how long would that process take?
Depending on what we're going to do with the property. It's still under review what the borough wants to do with it.
So I guess...
I don't have much more information to give you than that.
Okay.
We're an advisor's council, give you more information other than that.
No, okay, so I'm just saying, I think it's a missed opportunity, and if we can't do it, we can't do it.
I don't think it's a missed opportunity. I think if it can get done, it will get done. So let's keep positive and our fingers crossed. How about that?
If I may say.
Sure, Mr. Cohen, go ahead.
Okay. Keeping the building empty is for me a loss-loss situation, right? The only time that I can get a benefit is like now. I'm not saying today, but it would have to be pretty quickly. Otherwise, once I sell it, it's sold. Once I lease it, it's leased.
Understood. Okay. All right.
Fine.
Roberta, which should be his next contact? What should Mr.
Well,
Cope's next contact be?
we have been in discussion about this for a little while. There is someone else interested in the property. I've spoken to the tax assessor regarding a value for that piece of property, and then it would be up to the town to decide the best use. So we never got that far, and, if we want to pursue it now, then we should look into it a little bit further.
Okay. Maybe expedite the process at least. And
Right.
see where we are at that point.
Right.
All right, sir. Thank you for coming, and thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for your time and everything.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to be heard? Okay, seeing no one, we'll close the meeting to the public. And we do have a closed session that we are going to go into right now. It'll be brief, but at that point, we will come out and we will still be in session.
I'm going to go with
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss COA litigation, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting, and be it further resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Maywood will return to open session following this closed session.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to do a closed session.
How about a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't envision us being more than a half hour, hopefully a lot less, but whatever,
We'd like to reconvene the meeting. It is 8:25 p.m.
We are reconvened, and at this point, I'd like a motion for the approval of the March 25th, 2019 special meeting minutes and March 26th, 2019 council meeting and closed session, and April 9th, 2019 special session, work session, and closed session minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett.
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes.
Ullman.
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau.
Yes.
Garofalo.
Abstain from the March 25th minutes since it was not at that meeting, but yes to all these.
Motion carries.
Presentation of bills and claims and request for public comment. The clerk presented the bill resolution. Is there anyone from the public wishing to be heard with regard to the bill and claims, the bills and claims? Seeing no one, is there a motion for the approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett.
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes.
Ullman.
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau.
Yes.
Garofalo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Correspondence and report of the Borough Clerk.
Okay, I recently got in a request for a social affairs permit from the Untouchables Motorcycle Club for their yearly fundraiser. It has been reviewed by the police chief, and they meet all the requirements by the ABC. So no resolution is required, and if okay by the council, I can approve this with the ABC and get that moving.
Mayor, Councilwoman Bennett has a new motorcycle, maybe she could be your representative.
You really?
That's the one, yeah. Really nice. Is yours the red one or the other one?
The red one.
Yours is the red one? Yeah. I saw Rohit took him out. I've been walking Katie to school.
Harlan?
No. Someone
It's
is upset that it's...
beautiful.
But yes, it's got to be
Okay.
next Harley.
All right.
Husband Harley.
Okay, all right. I forgot where we are.
Thank you, Councilman Harris.
We have a social affairs permit.
Okay, are we okay? I'm fine.
For June 22nd.
Yes.
Are we okay with that?
Okay.
All right.
And then otherwise progress.
Progress, I like progress. Report of the Borough Administrator.
Mayor, I only have one thing for this meeting and then something in closed, a personnel matter. After the last meeting, we had a resident who complained about the noise at Ruth Chris from the garbage being collected at 3 a.m., spoke to the manager of the restaurant. He spoke to his garbage collector, who said that they are never there at that time of night. Also, the manager of the mall itself said that if we can get a specific date of when this gentleman said this was happening, their cameras could be, they could review it and see if anybody else is there. I drove there, there's only one other dumpster. It's by Adidas. It's kind of the total opposite end of where Ruth Chris is. And as it happens, this evening, we are introducing an ordinance to make it even clearer about commercial pickup, but in fact, the manager, David of Ruth Chris, said he was well aware of it, knows that it's 6 a.m., and would make sure that his people do comply with that. But we'll try to follow up with the resident. If he can give us a specific date, then the manager of Urban Edge would look at his cameras and see if he could identify anybody else who is doing that.
Okay.
But, as I said, that's all I have except for one personnel matter enclosed.
Okay, thank you, Laverne. Committee reports. Councilperson Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, other than my motorcycle. I met last week, or no, the week before perhaps, with Superintendent Newman, and I got a lovely tour of the DPW and some of the equipment which was, that we discussed was under the ordinances from April 9th for future plans and things that needed to be replaced and worked on. As well as I saw Mr. Mazur this past week, and then Mayor Cabrera and I were on a special assignment to assist Mr. Mazur this week, which was very nice. I just going to a resident. Other than that, I think that's it for this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Bowman.
I only have a few things I'd like to add to my previous report. The Maywood Firearms Unit working with the DPW supervisor in making repairs to the range and the range house. At our last meeting, there was a complaint regarding speeding on the Esplanade, and there had been a portable radar unit placed down there. I want to congratulate our new police officer, Andrew Mulligan, and Congressman Gottheimer had come to Maywood to discuss our participation in a federal military surplus grant program where Maywood receives surplus equipment from the military. It's not military equipment like Humvees or tanks. It's surplus equipment that you would normally use to operate any agency. And we received about $100,000 worth of equipment at no cost to the borough taxpayers. And that included things like generators and school boxes. We got a truck, equipment kits, and other items. So something that the police department and federal government military is doing to really assist us at our benefit. And that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Ullman.
Mayor, I actually have no report this evening.
Okay. You want to get home and watch hockey?
Not say that.
Before it happens.
It would be happening. Councilman Lindenau.
I also have no report this evening.
You want let's hear it. Mr. Hockey Player himself, Council President Garofalo.
Mayor, I had quite a bit today. No. One is that the next TANIC meeting is actually tomorrow, April 24th at 7 o'clock at Port Authority in New York and New Jersey Conference Room in Teterboro. So I will be there tomorrow night. And I also was there with Councilman Boland and Mr. Gottheimer, and to see what we have brought, and it was closer to $300,000 worth of equipment. One is a projector. It looked like a jet engine. This thing was so big. And what I would suggest, I don't know, we have National Night Out coming up, is maybe they could put a movie on somewhere, like later at night, that night.
The only problem is it takes beta tapes, so you know.
It only takes beta tapes. Oh, that's great. I think we'll set up something, and then I know, Mayor, we had talked about maybe using that for the town for something.
Yeah.
You know, like a movie night out or something like that.
Like the park.
Movie night, either pool or at the park or something.
Jaws.
Jaws at the
I mean, I
pool.
have the pool. Jaws at the pool.
Ooh. Or Sharknado.
Sharknado.
Yes. That's a great movie, I'm sorry. That is all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharknado.
Just to follow up on a couple of things with the program that we, the 1038, 1033, I forgot the number. 1033. That program as you correctly mentioned, we're almost at $300,000 worth of surplus. At one point, it just happened so fast. At one point, it wasn't 100, and then the next thing you know, we're like doubling. But this is, and thank Chief Peggs got this going, and Chief Matalis took it and ran with it, and one of the officers, Brian Rubio, is he's exceptional. He's getting us an unbelievable amount of equipment. When I say us, it's the police department, but as I said on the news clip, it allows us to not have to budget for certain things. And a small community like ours, you guys know, that's invaluable. On the resignations tonight, Tammy Valentine, she's resigning from the Library Board of Trustees, and I just want to thank her for her contributions to that board. One of them, she was the secretary, and that is an unbelievable job, hard job. Nobody wants to do it, and she did it. She did it well, and her contributions will be missed, but they are appreciated. So let's go into that. Number one, resignations, acceptance of the following. Number one, Tammy Valentine is a member of the Library Board of Trustees, effective April 17, 2019, and number two, Rico Facey as a member of the Special Police, effective April 17, 2019. Is there a motion to accept the resignations?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett,
Yes.
Boland,
Yes.
Ullman,
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau,
Yes.
Garafalo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And just let me briefly read something. This is happening on Saturday, April 27, 2019. It's a tribute to Hal Bloom, who passed away recently. It says, please join us as we pay tribute to Harold Hal Bloom in memory of his contributions to education and the communities, Hackensack, Maywood, South Hackensack, and Rochelle Park, but most importantly for his warmth and good humor and his ability to connect to others through a deep love of his people. And again, that's Saturday, April 27th at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Hackensack High School Auditorium, which is on the corner of First and Beach Streets, Hackensack, New Jersey. If you want to RSVP, the email is tribute, the number 2, halbloom@aol.com, and I'll have this information with the clerk if anyone wants further information on this. Yeah.
Mayor?
Yes?
If I might find out who might be available, because they are preparing a program and wanted to include the names of people from the council who might be attending. And God bless you. And I did promise Linda Bloom that I would get back to her tomorrow because they haven't printed it yet. So if any of you could let me know that you might be attending, they would like to include your names in the program.
Yeah, I told Linda that I'll be out of town. Is there anybody that, anybody on the council?
I will be out of town myself.
Roberta, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great.
I know, I'm sorry?
No, I do plan on it for the beginning. Good. Don't know if I can stay through.
No, as I said, they just would like to include the name. I don't think they want to put names in. If the people aren't going to be there, that's worse than not having your name there. So just let me know if you could in the morning, and I'll let Linda know.
I know Library Trustee Matt Stathis will be reading on behalf of, he'll be reading something nice on behalf of
The library.
The library board. I just had something to you, just went right out of my head. It comes back, I'll let you know, Roberta. Okay. All right, council approval of the following. From Our Lady Queen of Peace Rosary Society, request to hold an on-premise draw raffle on October 11, 2019 from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and an off-premise draw raffle on September 15, 2019 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Our Lady Queen of Peace Church, 400 Maywood Avenue, Maywood, New Jersey. Is there a motion for the approval?
So made.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett,
Yes.
Boland,
Yes.
Ullman,
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau,
Yes.
Garafalo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I just remember what it was, Roberta. Tomorrow the Hackwalk meeting, will you be able to attend?
I will try and get over, Mr. Hackworth asked me for some paperwork that I need to get from the finance office, and I'll try and go over there tomorrow.
Unfortunately, I'm in Newark tomorrow working, so I
Okay.
won't be able to make it. but-
I'll try and make it.
Thank you. Okay, resolutions by title.
Okay, Resolution 90-19, resolution authorizing the cancellation of outstanding checks. Resolution 91-19, resolution authorizing Niglia Engineering to provide a proposal for surveying services of drug-free zone and drunk driving-free zone mapping. Resolution 92-19, resolution approving settlement of the tax appeal with Vernado Bergen Wall LLC in the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey. Resolution 93-19, resolution authorizing the execution of repayment agreement with Municipal Access Liability Fund and promissory notes. Resolution 94-19, addendum to settlement agreement between the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey, and Fair Share Housing System.
Is there a motion for the adoption of the resolutions?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett?
Yes.
Poland?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Trevino is absent. Lindenau?
Yes.
Garafalo?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Introduction of ordinances.
Ordinance number 9-19, an ordinance to amend Chapter 56-3 of the Maywood Code entitled Composition and Organization of the Uniformed Force, which governs the police composition of the borough in the Borough of Maywood, State of New Jersey, and ordinance number 10-19, an ordinance to amend Chapter 193-2 entitled Regulations for Garbage Collection of the Borough of Maywood Code in the Borough of Maywood, State of New Jersey.
Is there a motion for the introduction of the ordinances?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
On roll call, Bennett?
Yes.
Poland?
Yes.
Coleman?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Garafalo?
Yes.
Motion carries. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood that ordinance 9-19 and 10-19 pass on first reading, and that said ordinance would be further considered at our final passage at a meeting of the Mayor and Council to be held on May 14, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. at Borough Hall, 15 Park Avenue, Maywood, New Jersey, at which time and place all persons interested therein will be given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to advertise the same according to law.
Okay, do we have any new business, members of the council?
When is the fall festival planned for? Do we have that?
October 3rd,
October 3rd.
it's the first Sunday in October. I think that's it.
When do we
October
normally...
3rd or the 6th, I can't, well, some I can't.
fine.
It's the first Sunday in October.
When do
The
we
second?
norm-
6th.
Or the 6th, I'm sorry. I knew it was
October
one of
6th.
those two.
Thanks for the calendar.
Who will be reaching? Roberta, it's usually you that reaches out to the race people, right? The 5K folks, right? Or do we wait for them to reach out to you?
Kind of both.
Okay.
I mean, because we help them get some things organized.
I'll send a quick Facebook instant message to one of them just to reach out.
Okay.
Okay. Just plan that a little ahead, and I know we have the Rotary 5K coming up. So let's hope that's well attended. Any other new business? Did you have?
Well, just more, when do we start to reach out to businesses and whatnot about that event?
It's really kind of, I mean, everybody knows about it. We've been doing it now for a number of years, so I usually start probably August to let
Okay.
people, when I have the flyers that go out to people to see if they're interested in participating. And then before that, I've already arranged for all the amusements and everything else.
Great.
And then, of course, raising the money to pay for it, which I do somewhere along the way.
8th year.
I'm sorry?
8th year.
8th year.
Yeah, 8th year. Do you have something?
I know there's been some discussion about Pleasant and trying to find ways to promote business there. One of the things that is coming up in this planning board meeting is the approval of a conforming sign for straight times. That to me hurts a business. If there's no variances necessary and the sign conforms to the ordinance, why are we making a business owner go to a board to get approval? And it's not a free process. It takes in time, it takes in money to need to attend. I wonder if the mayor and council would consider removing elements of our ordinance where somebody is proposing a conforming sign to our ordinance from having to appear in front of the planning board.
I personally think it's a good idea because we had another situation where a long-time business was subjected to the process just for the sake of going through it. And I also think that it is unfair to businesses where they don't need a variance of any kind And if they, so I think it's definitely something that we should look at, or ask the planning board to look at.
I believe it, my understanding of the MLUL is that if there were no variances required and the sign meets the requirements, you can't deny it anyway. So what's the point of having somebody go when they're guaranteed?
It's just been a process that the board has required, and I think that certainly the mayor and council have the authority to override that.
Do if we want to make a change to the ordinance, does the planning board have to have a hearing on that and then recommend to us, or we can remove it?
When it comes to our processes about how things would get to the planning board, as long as it doesn't affect the MLUL, we can do whatever we want. It is our borough code, not theirs.
So I'd like to make that consideration to the council to, if that's
Remove the necessity for site plan approval? We just, if I may, Mr. Mayor, through the chair, we just did the same thing in TNEC where we got rid of some things just so the process would be easier for those businesses to come,
I mean, we don't want anything that's above and beyond what our ordinance already says, but if everything that they're doing is within the description of the sign ordinance, why we make them go to the board and go through the process makes no sense.
Yeah, if you deviate from what the ordinance permits, then it's not...
Then you need a variance.
Then it's not conform, then they have to go. But if
Right.
it is conforming, why should they have to go? I agree with that. We want to encourage, if it encourages business to allow them, if they meet our code, and that's the point, they meet the code, let them set up their signs. And we have an official to make sure that that can be...
Yeah. Yeah. It's, have you brought that up at the planning board?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. But we're going to hear that case this Thursday.
Mhm.
I certainly can bring it up, although I don't know if we don't require their participation to remove that element.
But you are a liaison there, so maybe you can let them know that that's what we are, it got brought up tonight, that's what we're discussing.
They have any comments, absolutely.
If they have any comments, and maybe they're all for it as well. They might be looking at this at the time as well.
Great.
So,
I will bring that up and I'll report back on that.
thank you. Any other new business? How about old business? Do we have any? Who put that back there?
Miscellaneous got back on there? Oh,
Where?
wow.
Oh, it's good. I think that
Took
worked.
it out of the,
And it's out.
you took it out of
That should be brought back in. Almost had a heart attack.
Ryan said he has miscellaneous business before we go.
That's just an announcement, it's opening day for this year. I'm sorry, this Saturday. So if anybody's around, Memorial Park.
What is time? You got the time to start?
Kids gather at, guessing 8:45.
And it's not the usual
Not
route.
a parade. It's kind of, you go across the street.
They hop over.
We're not going down Pleasant?
No, there's no...
They're not doing it. I think they decided to stop that. Interesting.
All right. Weird. So, parade's about 100 feet.
Is it really a parade? Is that a procession? What would that be called now?
Procession, I think. Walk over.
Walk over.
Review.
Nonetheless, it will be a fun day.
Yes, it absolutely will. It always is. Okay, that would be legal. What about any old business? Do you have anything that would be categorized as old business that you guys would like to talk about? Seeing none, hearing none. We do have another closed session, and at this point, I don't anticipate us coming back.
Whereas the
Please.
Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss personnel, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting, and be it further resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Maywood do not envision that they will return to open session after this closed session, but reserve the right to do so.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
In case anyone's wondering why we're doing two, there really is no idea how long the second one